Coach Franco Says is a proud member of the Philippine Podcast Directory. Check us out on Facebook and listen to the amazing lineup of local podcasters this country has to offer. Now, this is what I use for my analytics. Podmetrics, your one-stop shop for podcast analytics. Make your free account by simply signing in and put in my code, Coach Franco Says upon sign up. Very, very easy. Now, enough of this. Let's go to today's episode. Enjoy.
3, 2, 1. What's up, everybody? We are your Titos of Fighting, and we are back for another edition of Combat Sports Weekly. Of course, this show will never be complete without my co-hosts from Dstry MNL Podcast, JC Reyes and Carl De Mesa. What's up, everybody? What's up, boys? We are going to allot this episode to dissect and analyze future matchups and the resurgence of certain sectors of martial arts, especially with the occurrence of their exposure in media. So we're gonna kick things off with our judging of MMA Davao's shadow boxing MMA shadow boxing tournament. So this is the semifinals. So first round of the semis. It was Justin Sumido versus Jerry Guzman. Me and JC were fortunate enough to be part of the judges there. Carl was out. At least mas maganda na yung internet niya ngayon. Di ba? Bilis na raw. Bilis na raw yung internet. Bawi na yung internet niya ngayon. Ano na, malakas na yung streaming. Good job. Oh, di ba? It was a vast improvement. What I really loved about this series, we're entering the semifinals, and the winners will eventually go to the finals, is that they took our observations, they took our analysis, and they applied everything towards this next round.
Parang nakikinig nga sila eh.
Diba? The next round of the shadow boxing tournament. So video was better, the execution was smoother, they were able to change movements. Tapos there were transitions from the striking towards the grappling. The takedowns were a little bit more clearer. They focused a lot on... pinaka takeaway ko was their ability to chain movements, and then they were going to they were striking with bad intentions, but now it had purpose, it had structure, it looked cleaner, it looked better. Diba? Ang ganda ng background. It was like
Jerry Guzman yung nasa gilid ng highway na
overlooking the mountain, and then there were clouds. So I just imagine that
parang sea of clouds eh.
There was a sea of clouds. So, di ko alam kung ang lamig ba doon, sanay ba sila sa lamig doon.
Pinagpawisan ba siya?
Pinagpawisan ba siya doon? Diba? So it was really good. I like the way they handled the feedback, and then they were able to apply it. So
first of all, yun nga, who knew na yung sea of clouds pala pwede rin pang MMA shadow boxing, hindi lang panghugot.
Parang crouching tiger na.
Actually.
So parang scene from old martial arts movies.
Yes.
Mga traditional martial arts movies na yung background niya nasa mga mountain, mga foggy mountains, nagte-training. Parang gano'n yung backdrop niya. Parang gano'n yung background niya. Yun nga, like what Coach Franco said, ang ganda ng performances nila kasi they actually really listen to us, which is great, which is the attitude that every fighter should have. Listen to feedback from people. Don't imbis na ma-offend kayo kung may feeling nyo hindi magandang feedback, try to look at it in another way, lalo na kung makaka-improvement sa performance nila, which is what happened exactly. Tapos connects nung dalaw nilang galing, ang laking improvement. Yun lang, naalala ko na nabanggit din ng ibang judges there, yung angles nila medyo kulang pa rin, medyo tumatagal sila on one side bago lumipat sa susunod. Although ang ganda nga talaga na now they have this sort of simulation na nasa laban na talaga sila, which is what we wanted to see in the first.
Tournament was such a surprise for all of us. I said we never really thought, and we had little expectation, but it turned out really, really well. For this episode, there were surprise guests na judges, and
dami nyo nga kasama.
Dami namin kasama. Nagulat din kami. So we had the privilege and the honor to be with Mark Munoz, Ole Larsen, Eric Paulson,
Guru Guy Chase.
Yeah, these are couldn't be any happier that Combat Sports Weekly was part of the judging. So congratulations to whoever's gonna win. Is gonna move on to the finals, and then we're going to go for another round this weekend. I'm not really sure. I think we're gonna schedule it. Pero again, congratulations to Doc Vince. Congratulations to MMA Davao, and hopefully, yung susunod na edition ng MMA Shadowboxing will have more participants. And alam mo yun, it's a good way to keep everyone busy. It's a good way to get something going until eventually we'll figure things out on how to do actual events. Next on the agenda is something that we just noticed. Carl noticed the trend, and then we all realized, parang
Diba?
it was good, diba? And this is the resurgence of karate. Karate
Lord,
has,
diba?
diba? Parang everyone grew up, all of us, even from our yung mga parents and grandparents. Karate has been there ever since, but it hasn't had the amount of focus that it had given the past few years. Like siguro let's give it 2 to 3 years. Wala masyado, diba? Karate has been there. Like okay, it's a summer league sport. You enroll your children for self-defense. Na parang if you're lagi
para may
gawin para may gawin sila, di ba? So, it was either karate or taekwondo. Then more often than not, taekwondo would always win. Tapos naging sector I don't know kasi there are so many classifications of karate.
Dami na.
Daming klase.
Ang daming forms ni karate na
From the actual ones that came from Japan to
Yes.
wild ones na even dito na develop.
magtataka parang okay, may ganun palang klaseng karate. Di ba? Whoever probably had their black belts or whoever set up their schools, then eventually
Na-immerse siya so much in the Filipino culture na lahat ng martial arts. Ang tawag ng mga magulang natin karate.
di ba?
There was a time na ganyan.
Lahat, di ba?
Karate yan.
Nagkakarate. Yung karate na yan. Di ba? Pero ito rin yun parang it was known mainstream but it wasn't as popular.
Yeah.
Parang I rarely saw a karate gym or a karate school that really flourished.
Yeah.
Like, who has seen actual karate point fighting? Panood
So parang I'd only hear about karate either in UAP, UAAP. I don't even know if they're in the NCAA.
Yeah.
And then in parang if someone won in the SEA Games or in the Asian Games, or someone won in the World Championships, yun. It became mainstream popular simply because of the trend that slowly had that build up. So first, syempre, at the age of jiu-jitsu and mixed martial arts, because of Cobra Kai.
Yes.
Diba?
Yeah.
How
I
else,
believe it
diba?
helped a lot.
Season 1.
Diba?
Damn.
If you're living under a rock, Cobra Kai is this
I've not
YouTube
watched
series.
any.
Ayun, diba? It started on YouTube. It was a YouTube series.
Yes.
So the first and the second season was uploaded. It was shown on YouTube. So it basically continued the story of the Karate Kid. So again, if you were too young and you don't understand, YouTube it, research. It was one of the more popular movies in the early 90s or 80s ata. Basta
80s
it was
pa siya.
So Karate
80s.
Kid, okay?
Yeah.
So it was Mr. Miyagi and Daniel-san, and then they went to Japan, and then they went back to the States, and then it got rebooted because there became Hilary Swank.
Hilary Swank.
Hilary Swank became a Karate
Gender
Kid.
swap.
And then they did a reboot with Jackie Chan and Will Smith.
I think yun din medyo
Jaden
nasira
Smith.
ng konti.
medyo nasira din siya doon.
The Karate
That was
Kid
bad.
not doing complete.
2010.
So afterwards, nag-dip siya, nawala. Then here comes Cobra Kai. Whoever wrote Cobra Kai, you're an amazing person.
Yes.
And ito yun, it wasn't a reboot of anything. They decided to continue the story of the Karate Kid, of the original Karate Kid.
Yeah.
So it brought back so many nostalgic feelings, especially for the ones who followed the entire Karate Kid saga during the 80s and the 90s. Ang galing parang the characters were the same. They were able to find the old characters.
Yeah.
So it was reliving good memories, and then they continued the story. It was good writing. I kind of liked how the story went. Medyo, we don't want to be
What did you
spoilers.
guys like about it though? Like ako, ang favorite ko doon, it now tackles the story of kid from the point of view na si Daniel talaga yung bully.
Oo. Yan ang
Oo
gusto ko
nga.
doon. I think it's one of the selling points. I think it was one of the selling points of the series. Alam mo, when I saw that video and I saw that breakdown, parang napaisip ako,
no? Parang
Kasi totoo
nananahimik sila dun sa high school tapos dumating yung foreign kid na ano ba tong parang mystical niya.
Oo, di ba? Parang nagpapansin kagad, nagpasikat kagad. Yeah. Ako, I don't know if, I think it was also uploaded sa YouTube, yung in-explain niya na parang, look at it from a different perspective. Na parang, okay, here comes the new kid in town, decides na he wants to be known. Tapos ako nakuha na ako dun sa Oo nga naman. Shotahan niya yung lalaki na sinulot niya.
Di masok
Di ba? Epal ka eh. Kahit naman ako, nga no. Kahit ako gagawin ko yun eh. Epal ka eh. Di ba? Tapos si Girl Lalo naman, nagpasulot. Di ba? Nagpasulot si Girl Lalo.
Huwag na natin i-spoil yung Cobra Kai Season 3 kasi maraming surprises.
But it was really good. I like how they continued the story, and then everything now is from the point of view of the Cobra Kai guy.
Ang question ko dyan, how much does it look like real karate yung ginagawa sa Cobra Kai? Kasi yung original na choreographer ng Karate Kid is a Tang Soo Do practitioner. Si Pat E. Johnson, who is actually parang black belt ni Chuck Norris, who also is a Tang Soo Do black belt. So they say that it's actually more a Korean martial art na ginagawa dun sa movies. Of course, it's like yung crane kick and everything else, hindi naman yan karate, di ba?
It's more.
So parang, is it really karate that they're doing in Cobra Kai? Or is it, kasi ako nakikita ko yung knees and elbows sa, pag nagbabaragan yung bata
Nagtataka
sa
ako doon sa knees and elbows na yun. Pero, ang dami na rin naman talagang styles na, I think they got from karate tapos ginamit na sa iba-ibang martial arts, like pinangalanan na ng iba and everything. Yung basics, I see some of the basics of karate kasi Korean, Japanese, yung Chinese martial arts, even yung YouTuber said na baka Ikali was or FMA was the roots of karate.
I saw that
crazy.
Video. Isn't that another talking point that people crazy Jesse Income?
Yeah. With that point, because most martial arts, lalo na yung mga traditional, may mga techniques sila na magkakamuha talaga. So, I guess what they did in the show was, magkakamukha naman. Yun na lang yun.
I really believe din naman na without us even knowing it and without us diving into too much detail, I really think that karate as a sport and as a martial art progressed, it evolved, and then it diversified. So I don't really think I don't really think din naman na do we know of any like he is the standard of karate. 'Di ba? Parang wala
na ito karate to, 'di ba? Wala naman
'di ba? Parang we just know naman na okay, there's Kyokushin, there's Zendokai, there's
may mga kung ano-ano Ryu.
'di ba? Karate will always be karate and it's still karate. And now it's I love the fact na we're talking about this and people will have a better understanding na it will probably push them to like either check what is the Karate Kid, watch Cobra Kai, have their own discussion, and then it will eventually lead back to, is that karate? What is karate?
One thing's for sure, people will go, or whoever the kids are watching with Cobra Kai, they will go to karate dojos now and say, roll mo ako dun sa
karate. Diba? It's only gonna help karate gyms, diba? And karate association. So, and we also discussed this a lot here in Combat Sports Weekly, na the resurgence of karate also, parang it really coincided that, I mean, the timing was really right.
So,
everything was, it was synchronous and synergistic na, here comes Boss Ruten creating or he put up Karate Combat. What Karate Combat, for me kasi, what Karate Combat does is that it gives karate practitioners that hope and aspiration na, okay, if I don't want to go to the UFC or if I don't want to go fight in MMA, there's a professional league out there that I can be part. So that's why we make it a point here in Combat Sports. Masaya siya guys, masaya siya. So please, go on YouTube or on Facebook, go to their social media pages, look at the highlights. Yun na lang, di ba? For beginners, look at the highlights. Grabe.
Innovation pa lang ng arena nila, doon pa lang panalo na eh.
Ibang klase.
What do you call it? The pit, no?
The pit.
The pit.
The pit.
And the athletes are so athletic to the point na kailangan namin gumawa ng jackness level. Kailangan namin pag-usapan. Gaano ba kagayot tong mga to? Di ba?
Very, extremely
How
super.
healthy are their magic beans?
Di ba? How effective? Who is their source? Where do they buy this?
Rekta kami sa source nyo, please.
Di ba?
Pero tama ka, Coach.
Yeah.
Tipong, ito yung like the jiu-jitsu guys, the grappling guys dati. No? Kung ayaw nyo mag-MMA, saan pa ako pupunta?
Yeah.
So ngayon, meron ng mga professional leagues like EPI, Polaris.
Di ba?
Kung may mga
Polaris,
professional-
Fight to Win, ADCC. I mean, nagkakaroon ng
SAG.
avenue. At least yun, we get those, what do you call this? We have those avenues. So, I mean, it's a good year for karate. I mean, when we started this, may karate combat na. So, I think Cobra Kai, ito rin yun. Cobra Kai has been acquired by Netflix.
Smart.
Yeah.
So, it simply means that people are watching. So, for Netflix to acquire that franchise, it simply means a lot of people are watching. They're getting a lot of views. I just really hope they could.
Very
Medyo,
synchronicitous na in 2022, karate is going to become an Olympic sport. Culmination na yun. Ano pa kayo mangyayari afterwards, di ba? Sarang, meron ng gold medals in karate, 6 up for grabs in kumite and 2 for kata. Wow, guys.
So, our karate national athletes, di ba? This is a good, di ba? It's a good way to motivate yourselves, get inspired, di ba? Aspire for this. I really hope that they qualify. Syempre naman, when you get to the Olympics, naman basta-basta may delegates, we really hope that you qualify. Wala tayong problema sa puso eh. Kailangan talaga natin budget for training, budget for training, focus, di ba? I really hope sports officials, di ba? We're not implying, we're not assuming, di ba? Allegedly, there's gonna be a lot of corruption there, pero please, ito na lang yun eh. Mas maraming financial opportunities if you're winning.
To win a gold in 2022 Tokyo Olympics in karate, wow, that would be
crazy.
We'd love to play devil's advocate here in Combat Sports Weekly. Kung meron kayo nabubulsa ng walang gold medal, what more pa kami gold medal na, di ba? Yun na lang. Sipin nyo na lang yun. Di ba? Yun na lang. Next up is our upcoming analysis and predictions for UFC events. Medyo interesting to So, UFC on ABC, Holloway versus Qatar. So, it's gonna be Max Holloway versus Calvin Qatar. I don't know, it's Calvin Qatar or Calvin Qatar. Pero,
Calvin Qatar.
medyo,
sorry for mispronouncing your name.
Medyo okay sila.
We're murdering your name. Sorry.
Diba? It's a really good card. I mean, these are really good up-and-comers. Our favorite, si Joaquin Buckley is back. Joaquin Buckley.
Knockout of the year.
Knockout of the year guy. Joaquin Buckley. Siya yung para may video game spinning shit na knockout.
Fake daw siya.
Diba?
Sobrang pretty.
He's gonna go against Alessio Di Chirico. Diba? Alessio Di Chirico.
Galing din yan.
Co-main event is really interesting. Carlos Condit versus Matt Brown.
Oh, is a Condit fan, so parang
diba? The natural born killer.
Battle of the Vets.
Diba? Battle of the Vets nga pala to, no? Carlos Condit versus Matt Brown. Si Carlos
Condit.
Si
Matt Brown, daming injuries eh.
For some weird reason talaga, nanghihinayang ako sa career ni Carlos Condit. I do not.
Sayang, no? He fell short against GSP, right?
He was on a roll, and then ano to, di ba? He got injured. He probably wasn't able to bounce back, and then he went on hiatus, came back.
Yung losses.
Then losing streak. I don't know. Pero dati, di ba? Kaya nga NBK, National Born Killer.
Here. I met this guy. He was so ripped.
Was a nice guy.
Nice guy.
Pero he was very athletic, diba? He was tall, he was long.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Leaning towards Matt Brown. Si Matt Brown lumalaban niya parang siya eh. Parang lagi may sense of purpose yan eh. Si Condit, hindi ko alam, parang he wants to fight but I don't know if his body is responding the way he wants it.
Tanda na rin niya.
Yan
ang medyo...
Calvin Qatar is a very dangerous opponent, okay?
Grabe.
Si Max Holloway.
Galing pala eh, diba?
22-4-0. Holloway is 21-6.
Holloway, congrats by the way. Got married to his girlfriend.
Talaga? Na sila? Natuloy na. Natuloy. Diba?
Winning in life,
Away.
champion life,
Diba?
blessed, #blessed.
Diba? Hashtag
Yeah.
blessed. Diba?
Winning in life, not much in the fight.
So,
Yun.
confirm ba na half Pinay yung babae o Pinay talaga? Di ba parang may news na Pinay, di ba? So lahat ng mga tao ngayon, yes, Philippines,
Pinay pride.
Pinay pride. Oy.
May tatagalog yan.
I think everyone's gonna be looking forward to this.
This one I like. Yeah.
UFC 257,
Yeah.
the return of the Notorious. So it's gonna be Conor McGregor versus Dustin Poirier. Pero before that, I like Coleman is good. Teka lang, si Marina Rodriguez and Amanda Ribas. This is a good matchup. Yeah. Okay, watch out for that, guys. Okay, I have little knowledge of Hakeem Dawodu and Shane Burgos, pero Jessica Ai is also a good matchup. Jessica Ai and Joanne Calderwood. And then co-main event, of course. Is this gonna be the comeback fight ni Michael Chandler to the UFC?
Yeah. His debut.
First time.
Magde-debut na siya.
First time niya.
Hindi siya galing talaga. So for the longest time, galing lang talaga siya sa ibang organizations. Diba? Okay, so Michael Chandler is the guy that people have been hyping up kasi na parang he would match up really well in the lightweight or whatever division he's going to join in the UFC. So now he finally was able to. He was released by Bellator, and then now he's in the UFC. He's going to make his UFC debut. What a way to welcome Michael Chandler, no? Dan Hooker. Diba? Dan the Hangman Hooker. I want to see how Michael Chandler's wrestling is going to translate inside the octagon and then against a formidable opponent like Dan Hooker. What more could you ask for, diba? This was a fight. Everyone, I think just for the simple reason that we're going to see Conor McGregor back in the cage, everyone's going to be excited. Yeah. JC, is this going to be for the belt?
Biglang kumabig wala na yung news na saying it's gonna be for the belt, but rather whoever wins will fight for the belt na daw.
There's a Justin Gaethje
So is this like a contender na whoever wins will fight Gaethje for the belt?
But
I think Gaethje is gonna fight someone else then, and then whoever wins that fight.
And then Dana has been talking about pushing another Conor Khabib. Like, pag nanalo si Conor, how can you not do another Conor Khabib somewhere down the line? Pag nakuha ni Conor yung belt.
Feeling ko si Khabib.
Interesado ba siya doon, di ba?
Legacy fight si Khabib eh. Khabib will always go for legacy fights. Not unless he's gonna get triple the amount na it's an amount that he cannot refuse. Pero I think he'd rather go for a GSP fight than a Khabib fight, than a Conor fight. Although a Conor fight will give him more money talaga. That's a more money fight.
For sure.
It's a more money tipong let's push Russian MMA into the Olympics type money.
Kasi apparently his last fight pala earned him like $10 million.
I think it still depends on Mma Rules kung papayag.
Oh yeah, Mami
nga no. But depende kay Mami Nurmagomedov nga pala no.
Siya nagsabi na Khabib should retire already. So.
Yeah. He bought a lot of sheep. So I don't know.
He's gonna be a farmer. He'd rather I think ko lang kasi Khabib's a martial artist. He'd rather go for a GSP fight than a Conor fight. Not unless he's gonna get paid 4 or 5 times. Pero other than that, it won't make sense sa kanya.
The trolling is of course parang Conor tap like chicken, but of course that's the Conor people.
The only thing that just might interest me is of all the people that Khabib took down, Conor was the only guy that was able to stand up. Poirier was able to recover. That's a totally different thing. From recovering guard is totally different from being able to stand up. Conor was able to stand up. So if he could stand up the first fight, what are Khabib's adjustments and what is Conor prepared to do? Tignan natin. 'Di ba? Kasi ito 'yun eh. Ito 'yun. Paano kung makachamba si Conor ng isang kaliwa?
Yun. Diba? Ang lakas ng kaliwa eh.
Ang lakas ng kaliwa eh.
How do we like the Dustin chances against Conor? Kasi alam ko mabilis na
I really hope that ito yun eh. Kasi it was supposed to be a charity fight eh.
Oo nga,
yun nga
mag-boxing
eh.
dapat sila.
Diba? I think yung isa sa mga chat na usapan natin, chismisan tayo, JC pointed out na it was supposed to be for charity.
Tapos biglang
Natunugan ni
Uncle
Dana.
Dana stepped in and
You get 1 million.
Para nakaganon si Dana, no? Ano yan? Ano yung ginagawa niya? Kayong dalawa. Bakit hindi kami involved dyan? Ba't hindi involved si UFC dyan? Gawin nating event yan. Kasi so was it a charity fight? Ito yun eh. How are you going to take it seriously if it was a charity fight? Yeah. Now, even if they say na it was supposed to be for title contention, paano nila aalisin yung idea na yun sa mga tao? If I were Dustin Poirier has the mass, the skill set, and the body to take down Conor. If there was one thing that Conor, I mean, ito na yun eh. It's out there. Lahat ng talo ni Conor was when he was on the ground.
Yeah.
Diba? So if you keep taking him down, I do not understand Dillon Danis. What the fuck, diba? Conor's supposed to be a brown belt. I mean, he's not doing brown belt moves, you know? So Dillon's a high-level black belt. Kavanagh apparently is a black belt. Yeah. Conor is a brown belt. I do not understand.
I don't know if Dillon is busy with like thinking about the Logan Paul drive-by.
Feeling ko nandun pa siya eh. Tsaka parang, hindi si Jake Paul ata ang umano sa kanya.
Si Jake Paul.
Tapos si Jake Paul ata, slide sa DMs din ata ng shota niya eh. Di ba? Kasi yun yung ano kasi si Gordon Ryan, di ba, in-expose yun, di ba? Shota mo, sila slide DMs ng mga ibang jiu-jitero, puwapatol siya. So I don't understand why you got tapped out by yung Nate Diaz, okay, di ba? Khabib, okay, pero come on, dapat by this time, you know that you're a good striker, you should, di ba? So you work on your takedown defense, and then you work on your transitions in jiu-jitsu. So that's why this is where you see that how important different facets of training are, and then how you put them together. That's gonna spell the success sa MMA career mo. Conor cannot afford to keep losing.
Yeah.
If he loses this one, I'm pretty sure his market value is gonna go down.
Maybe he should, yung coaches niya, si John Kavanagh and everybody else, should take a look at. You remember how Jacare got knocked out recently? Like nobody.
Yun, gano'n, di ba?
Yeah.
Pwede. That Conor has the flexibility, the agility, and the athleticism to fight off his back. I really think they should just focus on that. Feeling ko kasi our previous discussion will come into play na parang it's not as easy to strike while grappling, either if you're on top or if you're in the bottom, okay?
Conor should not wait na yung grappling niya would be comparable to how Ben Askren's striking is.
Oh my God!
Dapat. That is a very valid point.
That
is a fucking valid point.
Niya, wala na siya.
It's you can start calling out anybody and everybody. So if Conor wins, it's gonna set up a mega deal fight, either a boxing match with any of the Paul brothers or probably with Manny Pacquiao. You have to
I would actually pay for that.
Di ba? Tara, ano tayo ulit? Mag session tayo ulit. Di ba? So, I mean, it's pretty good. Next up on the agenda, we've discussed this. Let's put this in an episode. Naging kwentuhan namin to kasi we were talking about the underground scene.
Yeah.
What it was like. It was the heyday.
Back in the day.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, whoever's gonna watch and listen to this, when you say the underground scene, this was circa 70s, 80s, 90s. Okay? Yeah. So kung merong nagsabi sa inyo na lumaban sila ng underground tapos sinabi year 2000, medyo iffy yun medyo shady yun kasi by that time wala na However, we had to pull back kasi napaisip ako bigla hindi There was one organization that was so underground na it was an invite only. And hindi pa sikat ang social media pero they utilize social media channels in order to spread that
Hindi ko nga maalala kung this was organized via Friendster pa yata
May Friendster pa yan. May Friendster yan. Grabe.
Guys.
Ganon siya katagal. Okay? So, bilang your titos of fighting, would like to tell you the story, okay, of probably the last legit underground
Well,
MMA organization. So
I've heard of other stories pa.
again,
pero,
everything that we're gonna say here are alleged stories. Disclaimer lang po. These things
Nothing
allegedly.
But if you want to
Nothing is
surface
factual.
and talk about it.
Oh, diba? These things happened allegedly.
About it.
Our participation here were figments of our imagination. Napaniginipan lang namin na part kami nung organization. Napanaginipan lang namin na naka-attend kami. Pero again, nagkukwentuhan lang naman tayo dito, nagchichismisan lang kami, nakikinig lang kayo. Pero yun nga.
Alamat ng MMA sa Pilipinas.
So allegedly, there was this underground organization called OFC. Okay, OFC stands for Ollie Fight Club.
Who's Ollie again?
Diba? Who is Ollie? We don't know. We don't know.
Who the fuck knows?
Pero this was when we mentioned it, nagulat na lang kami na we all had our OFC stories pala. So OFC, so again, Ollie Fight Club was this really underground operations na MMA scene. So if you watch the movies na Never Back Down,
it's the closest to Never Back Down.
It's the closest to Never Back Down and Kingdom. Okay, it's the closest to Never Back Down and Kingdom. The first one was held at an Ortigas building na boxing gym.
Which I know very well.
Yeah, that JC knows very well and remembers well. Allegedly, JC allegedly remembers really well.
Yeah, because that gym, I helped bring in a jiu-jitsu team in that gym before. This is not allegedly, but I know the owner of that gym from before. They dropped the gym already, but I actually knew about that event.
Which allegedly happened.
But I have to dig a little deeper and see if they will talk about it. These were from
prominent schools,
private schools.
Oh, these were all from exclusive private schools.
Rich kids.
Rich kids na who wanted to,
we just wanted to fight. It just so happened that they were all practicing martial arts.
Yeah.
They were all practicing martial arts, and they got into they were so immersed in the culture that they decided, hey, why don't we try this out? So it started off as this secret fight club wherein they would spar, they would attend, they would spar each other. So typically, it's like a fight club. So they were emulating the Fight Club. Yeah, the movie Fight Club. So they would meet at undisclosed locations. They would put gloves. They would spar. And then the club grew. Eventually,
Because
people start...
They talked about Fight Club.
Yun nga eh.
They violated the rule.
Violated rule number 1 and 2.
Rule of Fight Club is to never talk about Fight Club. They had that rule. The second rule was you don't talk about OFC. Siguro nagkaroon sila ng exception, but you can bring some friends over. So one thing I loved about the entire OFC structure was that everything was word of mouth. That's when I realized and I saw that an alleged sporting, hindi nga siya sporting event, an alleged underground organization grew in popularity due to word of mouth.
Yeah.
Diba? And tama si JC, allegedly they had a Friendster profile which allegedly was super by invitation only.
Yeah.
This is where you know that everyone there was from exclusive schools because every post was cryptic. Parang you had to be part of the group and then there's a subgroup. They were distributed in cells. The cells will provide the location and the venue just to make sure that everyone was safe. Walang magchuchuchu, walang magsusumbong.
Exactly like Never Back Down talaga.
Yun. So, kaya nakita ko when I saw it, I was like, this is such a never back down thing. So they did those first events. Then allegedly they invited a certain individual. I was allegedly invited. I allegedly went there. So
You can neither confirm nor deny Coach Franco's
I cannot confirm or deny because I got head surgery. My memories are so hazy now. So alleged I was invited, and I was like, initially I was like, what the fuck? Sabi ko, is this true? Is this by one of the people that I know, and it said, wow, we're so happy that you were invited. Kasi nga, it was so close knit, and they were very, very strict. I went to an undisclosed location. We went to the top of a building with a basketball court. So it was chicken wire. There were bleachers. We were on the basketball court, allegedly put down puzzle mats, and I refereed like 10 bouts, allegedly. It's like, I was like, wow, this is actually happening. I was like, this is actually happening. There were security towards the towards the entrance, so it was good. It was a buy invitation only. You'd see people there, so they were bringing. So allegedly, they brought their friends, their barkada, and everyone was on the bleachers. So the bleachers were full. And I shit you not, like looking back, I was like, there was probably 80 to 100 people in that basketball court watching people punch each other. So we did MMA rules, headgear, all the pads for safety, because I said, okay, we're using puzzle mats lang, and this was literally, since there wasn't a cage, we were on a basketball court, it was just a human cage barrier. As in, people were there.
Never back down.
Never back down and never back down siya. And then the best part was, there was party music, there was food, and then, I mean, you can never say that it's not a party because ang daming chicks. If there was one thing I loved about that event, it was like, wow, ang daming chicks dito. And the chicks that attended, sila yung pinakamaingay. They were cheering. They was like, oh my God! As in, if they saw blood, as in, doon ko na-realize na sobrang competitive na mga babae. They really love action, and they really like the real stuff. And then they were like shouting. The boys were like, they were doing this. Yung mga tipong, alam mo, nagpapa-astig na parang, Stig, bro.
You seen that? Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Di ba? Pero yung mga girls are like, yeah! Sabi ko, wow. Ang saya niya. Ang saya niya. So, allegedly, I don't know.
Catering pa, so...
I don't know. I do not know if this happened, but I think may times no na parang a lot of people were trash talking, and as in ako nag-iisip ako, paano pag nagkagulo dito? Paano pag nagsuntukan dito? Di ba? Kasi there was a lot of trash talk going. As in, bleachers, nakikita ko.
Different gyms
barkada ko yan. Barkada, pusta pa ako, 500. Talaga? Sige, game. I was like, wow. It was so nice. It was so energizing as in, hindi ako napagod. People were shouting, I'm like, wow, this is amazing. The atmosphere was really, really good. And then, so the first one was just really inside this gym in the north. It became popular. They go like, everyone was asking now on the Friendster group. Thomas JC was Friendster pa noon.
Friendster
then they had to create a group for a public group. And then it was still a private group, but it had more members. And they go like, when is the next one? Excited for the next one. I mean, I have to give it to the organizers of this group. They really took it to the next level. Kasi yung susunod, it was at an exclusive clubhouse.
Of a very exclusive subdivision.
Yes! And ito yun. It was a fucking pool party. Yeah. As in, grabe. Sabi ko, major upgrade. I mean, how do you top this?
Wait, how many fights were there usually?
Normally, yung card na yun, allegedly, I could not allegedly remember. It was probably 7. But ito yun they brought Never Back Down to life. Just imagine, there's hip-hop music, poolside, girls in bikinis, and then there was an MMA going
Very
on.
never back down talaga.
Grabe siya. I was like, this only happens in movies. This only happens in Fantasyland. And they made it happen. We just imagine this is the genius and the ingenuity of people, of Filipinos. And one thing that I really admired, as in hanggang ngayon, that's why ako, saludo ko sa mga imaginative and alleged organizers nung fight league na yun, nung fight club na yun. I'll never say it's a fight league, it's a fight club. They were able to tap the younger generation and they were able to connect with them, and then it became popular. It became a movement. It became such a big deal na they were trying to do an event na rin, pero they still wanted that underground vibe. But they just couldn't kasi nobody wanted to host them knowing na now this was during the time na may Facebook na, di ba?
Nung pasimula Facebook, tsaka meron pa sila noon, nagtatry pa sila mag-organize na wala na rin eventually.
This is a good trip down memory lane, and for those who were able, okay, to allegedly attend one of those alleged events, would love to hear your story. Put them in the comment section.
In the comments.
Diba? We could have been on the same event, allegedly. Okay?
I heard from a very reputable source that some of the guys who competed transitioned into actual MMA.
Oh, diba?
Bro,
I have no names.
Bro.
I don't have any names.
Only allegedly lang naman sila
it allegedly existed. So
allegedly, what's more interesting is allegedly one of the
how many
organizers is my relative. So
Okay.
I have to ask him what's up now. I guess hopefully they can talk.
Diba?
How many
So,
never back downs?
I think
15 years.
parang 3 or 4.
No, I mean, itong alleged.
Yeah,
OFC.
parang mga 3 or 4.
3 or 4 lang.
Yeah, I think they did 3 to 4 alleged events. Not sure. But everyone was epic. Each one was epic, allegedly. Okay? Kasi for you, it reached the point wherein now a good piece of history that I really hope it becomes part of local MMA history if it allegedly happened. Okay? So, kasi ako nagka-encounter din ako nito. I was in front of a convenience store. So there were 3 people actually. So the guy was like telling people na training daw siya MMA. So parang ako nasa likod naman ako. It's like, oh, okay naman. Just okay. This guy looks like he works out. He goes like, oh nga, bala ko nga, dati kasi lumalaban ako ng underground. I'm like, whoa. Whoa. Never kita nakita. Never kita nakita, bro. Huwag kang ganyan.
Parang maliit lang naman yung
underground. Parang 2016 nangyari to. Parang wala na ata akong naririnig na underground na mga laban nun.
I think mga 2010, 2011 may narinig pa ako sa Kainta. But I never got to go to that event, pero it was near a gym that I used to go to.
Kasi ito lang yun Basta may event na yan Basta it was a formal event. Okay, na nag-invite kayo ng audience. Not underground anymore.
Hindi na underground doon.
Tapos naalala ko pa noon, there was, I worked with this celebrity. She did a feature on MMA and I was the resource person, and then she said, my boyfriend nga, during that time, sinasabi niya sa akin, lumaban daw siya ng underground. I'm like, what? Sabi ko, kailan to? Kailan to? Sabi niya, mga 2000. Sabi ko, oh, wait. Sabi ko, this is probably not your boyfriend's fault. So we're going to blame your boyfriend's coach. Okay? Probably made him fight into some event and said na it was underground. There's no such thing. Okay? Ang underground, okay, for context, underground battles, it was one team goes to another person's gym. It was a gym-to-gym thing. Closed door yan. Okay?
Gym raid yan. Tawag dyan.
Gym raid yun. Yun ang underground scene. Yeah. Gym raid yun. Tsaka it's not for training purposes. May hostile intentions ka.
Settling.
May pustahan dyan.
May pustahan yan. Yan ang underground scene. So it's either you both agree to meet at a neutral spot or a neutral gym. You close the doors, diba? And you only come out with stories. That's it. Hindi yan.
Yep.
Hindi yan yung, invite tayo, tapos tawagin nating underground to. No. Okay, it's not. Tapos normally underground battles or underground fights they would fight inside pero they will settle it outside the gym. Siyempre, magpakakapiko na niya, magrarambulan yan sa kalsada. Ganun ang underground scene dati, okay? So,
underground.
wala rin time limit nun. So, okay guys, final words, JC.
Second episode for 2021.
Yes!
Tuloy-tuloy na to talaga. Parami nakakanood ng episodes natin. Thank you very much. Kung sino man yung organizers of All in Fight Club, we're open to talk to you. And kung sino yung mga alleged na nag-compete doon, na nag-pro na kuno.
Pwede kayo audio lang if you don't want to show.
Okay. Pwede namin i-blur or kahit wala masyadong events na nangyari, at least, we're talking about upcoming events, pati local events, not just boxing, hopefully pati MMA. Ay, ATF, please allow MMA na ulit.
Pinayagan nyo nga yung translation.
Oo nga eh. Yung manlaki cancel.
Di ba?
Yung sa Cebu na-cancel, yung sa Manila hindi. I don't know why.
Di ba? Like,
give us our feedback.
So, kaya namin yan. Kaya namin mag-test. Kaya namin mag-bubble. Okay? And ito rin naman ginagawa namin to service our public. Isipin nyo lang, you want people home. Okay? DOH, IATF, you want to keep people at home. Allow combat sports to happen so that people have something to watch.
Itong OFC, I was particularly interested in the stories of my co-host kasi napapansin ko sa Europe ngayon, maraming mga nag-uusbungang fight club. So baka meron na naman sa Asia, particularly meron dito. Diba? Yeah. Kasi sa Germany, nakita ko yung Defend Fight Club, one of the Slovak republics, nakita ko yung King of the Streets. Tapos nag-invitational sila from other European countries ng mga legit na fighters. Interested in that pool party kung may pictures or video.
Galing sa mga 7650 nga at 6600.
Yan. Mga ganun ka-grainy, okay lang sa amin. Paki-email na lang po kay Coach Franco. Yung email niya.
Medyo digitized yun, so sigurado hindi masyado makikita yung mukha mo doon.
Maraming pixels, di ba?
So, 3 megapixels yun, so medyo.
Dustin Poirier versus Conor McGregor. Alam po namin marami sa inyong favorite si Conor. Pero wag niyo na po i-discount na nag-improve naman si Dustin.
Thank you to everyone who's been watching us here on Facebook. We appreciate your comments. Yung mga madalas po namin nagkukunya
sila. Shoutout na nga natin.
Diba, Coach Gabay, thank you. Coach
dapat may badge na pala sila.
Diba, Coach Roel, Moireen, thank you so much for continuously commenting. I forgot some of the names. Forgive me. Thank you for the constant engagement. Thank you for sharing the videos. People who message us na telling us na they like the content, the chismisan part. Ito pala, shout out to James Jaime, Coach James Jaime, Living Room Jiu-Jitsu Club. Ayan, club din. Ayan.
Ganda.
Living
Room.
This is, diba? I love the shirt. I love the fit of the shirt. I always wear this. I subscribe to their channel, Dstry MNL. They're on YouTube and all major podcasting platforms. They provide us with all the backstories and amazing content about the martial arts scene here in the Philippines. And then my podcast is Coach Franco Says. I'm also on YouTube and all major podcasting platforms. We'll see you next week for another edition of Combat Sports Weekly. Bye-bye.
Coach Franco Says would like to thank the following sponsors for making this episode possible.
My armor of choice. Never go to battle without it. Beware the robot face. I am Knots and Crosses. Place your orders on their Facebook or Instagram pages. Just good vibes in the local jiu-jitsu scene. Check out my Ikiro Collective family at ikiro.ph. Simply Better Dentistry. Visit the Santos Dental Group and Oral Surgery Center. Book an appointment on their social media pages. Boost your immune system with Nano Silver Immune Support Supplement. Order your bottles on their social media pages. For local martial arts news here in the Philippines, visit Local MMA on Facebook and listen to one of my favorite podcasts, Destroy MNL.